All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Workbench, your resource-rich weekly podcast and newsletter. Excited to be joined here by Sam Preston, CEO of ServiceScalers, a home service dedicated marketing agency. As always, I'm your host, Brian Shankman, also co-founder and CEO of LeadTruffle. LeadTruffle helps home services businesses convert website visitors and missed calls into paying customers with 24/7 AI-powered texting. Sam, thanks so much for coming on. Really excited to dive into your background, all of your insights around digital marketing. You've built many different agencies, now focused on home services. So before we dive into the nitty-gritty and the tactics and the details, Sam, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the business that you run?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Sam Preston, CEO of ServiceScalers. I built multiple different marketing agencies and then decided to niche down. I was told that riches are in the niches. So I was like, all right, we should try to see what happens there. And
Yeah.
started with home services and kind of blew up. Again, grown multiple, different $1 million agencies, but then like this one grew a lot faster. So
Yeah.
nothing like ServiceScalers so far.
Yeah. And so what do you, if you had to look back, having experience across multiple different agencies, like what do you think's different about ServiceScalers that allowed it to scale to such a great size relatively quickly?
On the other ones, it was my first one, so made lots of rookie mistakes. I would say the things that made it really, really impactful is one, we were drowning in leads. We have so many leads, which is a great place to be. Again, because I figured those channels out when the other marketing agencies. So just starting this one, I was like, okay, I know where I'm going to go to get leads. The second thing is a great team, right? Like it just makes it easier, specifically with clients when they want to keep staying with you because you're getting good results. And third is a scorecard. I don't know if anybody is a Traction fan here, but we very Monday, Wednesday, Friday we're having conversations internally about how many leads are we getting, how many of those are turning into appointments, how many sales are we closing, how many clients are on track to hitting their cost per lead, how many renewals are happening. So we're like, we know our numbers, and we like everyone has to be accountable to the entire company 3 times a week on those numbers. That really has made, what's get measured,
What's
there.
measured is managed.
Thank you, Brian. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that has been a huge difference in what we got going on.
Now, you may not want to give away the alpha to other people who are listening, but can you share what's working for you for the leads? Maybe you don't want to give out the secret sauce, but I know that's a hot topic for whether you're an agency company or software company or even home services. Like where are you finding it's working for you?
Well, I mean, I've never cracked the code. It's nothing that nobody else doesn't know, right? Like it's like a home service company. Where are you going to get your leads? LSA. Oh, wow, that's brilliant. Like, of course. So for us, podcasts work really well. Newsletters work really well. Social like X and LinkedIn. I want to figure out TikTok. I haven't gotten it yet started, but we'll figure that out. Referrals. We're starting to work with partners as well. So things like that. It's nothing outbound. I'm launching a new outbound campaign, kind of targeting competitors. So it's again like all these things. It's just, do you do it well, and can you break the code inside those?
So when it comes to delivering digital marketing services for home services, what are the main things that you as an agency are focused on, and where you find you can drive the best results for your clients?
So we focus on search. So for customers that are already searching for you, so not Facebook ads. Facebook ads, people like doom scrolling. You're like, hey, do you want to repipe your house? No one does that. So we focus on, well, I said sidetrack. You can find success with Facebook ads. I've just not done it. I like the people are already looking for you. So it's like leading a thirsty horse to water. They're looking for you inside the searches. And so we try to drive that traffic to your website, and then obviously appointments through LSA, Google Ads, GMB, and then SEO, again, to a beautiful, high converting website.
So when it comes to like finding success on these channels, I think there's a lot of conflicting advice. There's a million YouTube videos, all with good knowledge, but sometimes it's hard to really understand like what's the 80-20, what are the core things I need to be doing? Let's just focus on Google for a minute to drive leads for my home service business. For you working across all these clients, what is that 80-20, kind of the core things a business owner listening to this could do today to start getting more of those high intent leads coming to their business?
One is know your numbers, right? Like I just talked about, like how we know our numbers inside of our business. You absolutely got to know how much traffic is coming through, how many leads per channel are coming through, how many of those leads are turning into appointments, and then how many appointments are turning into closed won deals. If you know that funnel, you can crack any channel. So once you do that, then you can start testing them out, right? Test out Google Ads, test out lead partners like Angie's List and Home Advisor and Modernize, and then test out Google Ads, Facebook Ads, all just driving traffic to your website. How many of those turn into appointments? How many turn into a closed won deal? So that's the first thing is you got to have that. The clients that have that give us access to their CRM, see significantly better results from day one. So that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is just make sure your budget's going to things that actually drive you leads, right? Which sounds silly, but I had a client who didn't want to give us access to CRM. That's fine. That happens. For 2 years, we've been driving them a good amount of conversions. When they finally got us lead data on which leads turned into revenue, we started realizing the keyword we've been bidding on that drives a bunch of leads wasn't actually driving revenue. This other one that we never threw money behind because it was just not driving as much, the cost per lead was higher, was driving significantly more revenue for them. So we switched that, and it's like overnight, campaign change. It's like one of those stories that you're like, hey, we got control of their ads. We changed a couple of things. We got them a great ROAS. Like that's literally what it was.
So I think on the topic of conversion, and you can put a lot of money into Google LSA, which is local service ads. You can optimize the heck out of your Google business profile. You can do all these things, but really none of them matter unless they turn into paying jobs. So for us at LeadTruffle, we focus on AI texting, probably going to be adding AI voice at some point. Just seems inevitable. We're really focused on the website and missed calls. The phone's another big one. Website forms are another big one. For you and your clients, what do you see is the best way to convert a high intent lead from Google into a paying job?
The clients that have the best success get a bunch of touch points, and actually know what those phone calls are. So I was dealing with this a couple weeks ago where somebody was saying like, hey, we're not getting good leads through Google Ads. We want to cancel. And I was like, and I got into the account. I was like, man, this keyword's way too good for it not to be turning into leads. Let's see what happens. So I go in, and I listen to those phone calls with their admin, and their admin just does not care about setting that appointment. And so it's unfortunate, and it happens more often than you think. But the person's like, yeah, it's $200 an hour, and we don't have any availability till next week. And it's like, that's not how you sell them, right? And then obviously they didn't have any text messaging or anything. Like that was the only touch point. So clients that touch touch point with their prospects and their leads at least 12 times through text message and email and phone calls drive significantly more appointments and more leads. So lots of touch points. You got to make it easy. A lot of people want, like with a form, they add like a bunch of different things you got to add in there. And I get it. You want that data, the important data. The simpler you make it, the less barrier to entries, the more often they're going to convert. And I would also say is like a lot of people focus on like, and I did this, getting a really sexy website. You don't need the craziest website ever. I sell websites, and I'm telling you, don't buy that $30,000 website. You just don't need it. I made that mistake, and it was terrible. What you want is something that's very clear and makes it easy for them to convert, and just in general makes you look like you're a 2025 company. If you look like you're from the 90s, you probably need to update it. But also, you don't we drive really good conversions with mid websites. So that's just a key. Don't let an agency talk you into some crazy website.
You heard it here first. Mid websites convert.
They do. They do.
Yeah, and you're preaching to the choir. I'm laughing because you're preaching to the choir with the long forms and not needing all that information because you can totally get it through a conversation after the lead submits. So thinking through the other things folks can do, like if they're listening to this and they're like, man, Sam, love it. I don't really have the budget right now to enlist an agency. I just want to get started with digital marketing. I've been off pen and paper, for the past couple of years. Like for you and your clients, and what you've seen, what would be that first couple things someone who's new to the game could do just to start getting some of those high intent leads? Is it set up a Google business profile? Is it SEO optimized landing page? Like where do people start?
Yeah, great question. Most of the time when a company is like less than $1 million, I try to talk them out of working with us because you spend that management fee on us doing the work, which is great, but like you're too small. I'd rather you take that and throw it into ad spend. So if you're less than $1 million, the first couple of things we're doing is go to LSA and go to YouTube, figure out how to run LSA. 80% of what we do, you can find on YouTube and get good results with basic knowledge. Two is your GMB, right? Like you can drive a significant amount of leads. YouTube has most of what we do. It's honestly, once you get bigger, you shouldn't be focusing on these and you want to hire that out. Same thing with an accountant or anything else. Like you get big enough, you shouldn't be doing your bookkeeping. Same thing with LSA and GMB. And the third thing is I would buy as many from the aggregators or lead partners like Angie's List and Yelp. I know some people hate them, but I'll talk to one client who hates Yelp and another client who loves and swears by them. So like figure that out in your area. Your cost per lead will be higher, but you're not getting any kind of management fee. You're not committing to anything. It's very simple. I want to put money in. Does it print me money out kind of thing? So those are the first three things I would do if I'm trying to get started or grow or I'm smaller without going into an agency.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, thinking about like other ways to kind of convert digital marketing into paying customers. I know you're focused on Google, but where have you seen like what are some other things people may not be aware of or other things you've seen people do to kind of drive traffic for their home service business outside of the Death Star that is Google?
I mean, there's so many different ways, like, park benches, or I had, someone who sponsored like pizza boxes. So every pizza box that went out had like their logo on it and a number, and they send it out, QR codes. It was great. And then Facebook ads, TikTok ads. TikTok right now, I mean, again, we don't sell this, so I don't have a experience on a lot of them. But like from a couple of clients that I've been talking to, your cost per click or cost per view is super low in comparison to Facebook. So you can get a lot of traffic for very little work. Again, like you're trying to create demand when you do that. Someone's just doom scrolling TikTok. They're not looking for a new HVAC unit. They're not looking for a new roof. But with the volume of people in your area, you could find the person that's sweating bullets because it's super hot and they haven't changed their HVAC unit yet. And some people are finding good success there. So I would test those things out. But then radio, TV ads, things like that. I would wait on those until you're above 15 million, honestly, because really you should just focus on as much of the capturing demand, which is the, leading a thirsty horse to water. So people that are already searching for what you do, they're going to Google. Bing actually works sometimes. Again, not something we do, but like no one's advertising there. So the search volume isn't there, but also because no one's advertising there, you can get really cheap cost per click and just drive a bunch of volume. And then, again, a million different ways. You just got to figure out what works for you. Focus on the funnel.
Yeah. Okay. Looking into like mistakes you see made a lot, I think it's a helpful way to think about things is like, here's what to do. And then here's also what not to do. Pulling back just more generally when it comes to marketing a home services business, whether that be digital through Google, whether that be something people often are doing wrong on a billboard, like what are 1 to 3 common mistakes you see home services businesses do when marketing, and what would you advise folks maybe do instead from what you've seen with your clients?
Yeah, a couple mistakes. One would be spreading themselves too thin. So I'll get this every once in a while where somebody, and you have to do what the client wants, but like they'll go, hey, I want to put $2,000 in LSA and $2,000 in Google Ads. And I go, why? Which one has a better cost per lead? And put $4,000 in that one, right? Like that's what you want to do is you want to figure out the handful of channels that work for you and really just dive deep into those before moving on to, that's what I do as a business owner for marketing my own thing. I find something that works. How much can I spend in there? Right? You can spend $20,000, $30,000 in Google Ads and LSA. So just keep pushing the limits of a channel until you can't spend any more. Then try something else, in my opinion. There's caveats to that, right? Like you want multiple channels because you don't want to depend on one channel. But like in general, that's a good rule of thumb and a mistake I see. Another one is not having marketing agencies talk to each other. So a client will come to us. They did this the other day. They're using us for Google Ads and somebody else for SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Great, fine. Well, that'll work for us. Their SEO changed all their links to their website, their URLs. When that did that, they didn't tell us. So suddenly our ads are getting suspended and not working, and we're scrambling because we're like, oh my gosh, the client's gonna be pissed. We got to try to figure this out. And it took us a couple of days, and we're like, why are all these changed? What happened? And so like it's taken us 6 weeks to get everything back up and running, and that was like detrimental to them. So making sure that we can work with other agencies. We're friendly, right? Like just whatever we can do to be a good partner. I think those are two pretty consistent mistakes. Websites, spending a lot of money on a website that you don't need. You need a mid-level website to be able to get conversions and good leads. So yeah.
Great. Thinking about tools, both for your agency and running it internally, as well as the tools you use for your clients. You mentioned CRM a few times. So many CRMs: Jobber, House Call Pro, Go High Level, Service Titan, like new CRMs popping up every day. I think there's this influx of tools. Guilty here as well, building another tool. Whether it's for your agency or for doing the end work for your clients, what are a few tools that you can't live without?
You have to have some sort of listening tool, right? The main thing we want is phone calls. It doesn't matter if they come to your website and then call you, or if they go from an LSA straight to a phone call. Like ultimately, you want that phone call so you can get that appointment. So you have to be listening to those phone calls. I think it's imperative. The other thing I think you have to have is you have to have some sort of email and texting. I mean, like I know that's what you do, but like you have to have that. Like if you're not reaching out to your clients 12 times before converting or to get that appointment, then you're wasting leads and money, and that's expensive. I think that you have to have a CRM. The other day, a client was like, "Hey, I want to know what your ROAS is for what working with you." And I was like, "I'd love to give that to you, but your CRM is Google Calendar. Don't know what to do with you. Like there's nothing I can do about that." So I also understand the whole like frustration with CRMs. I built my own on Airtable because I was not about to like try to like fit my company into some other company's CRM project. So I built it myself. Don't suggest that unless you know what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to have phone calls. You have to have, obviously all your Google suite. Actually, what an interesting one is, what is it called? It's Microsoft. Isn't it Microsoft Clarity? Have you heard of this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Microsoft Clarity is a free tool that will track a lot of the things that Google Analytics will. In fact, it will like connect with Google Analytics. I find it easier to get somebody who's not a techie to understand how to use Clarity for setting it up. So that's a good one. If you don't know, if you don't want to learn Google Analytics, but you do want to get some good analytics on your site, that's a good one.
Cool. Great. Sam, anything we didn't cover or topics you wanted to get to that we didn't cover yet today for the audience?
I don't think so. Make sure you know your numbers. There's a lot of different ways to get conversions and get leads. You don't have to use an agency. In fact, I suggest not using an agency until you get to a place where using an agency is actually the best way to get a better cost per lead and grow. Website's super important. We could talk website, like, hey, 5 things that you need for a good website. Clear copy. Like don't get crazy with them. It's very like, I like to call it job to be done. What's the job they're trying to do? They're trying to stop being hot. They're trying to feed their family. Focus on that. Make that easy call to action, easy and strong. Don't do learn more. Don't do discover our services. Like no one cares. Drive them down the funnel, talk to our reps, get started, things like that. Social proof is always going to be a big one. So Google reviews at the very top. 100% of the clients or customers that come to your site will hit that main hero section. So that's where we want to focus all our energy. And then no one cares that you've been in business for 95 years and you're family owned. Like some people do, but like majority of the people just want to know that you look professional, you're going to show up and do the job. So on your website, if it's not leading the customer down the funnel to a conversion or a phone call, then you're wasting people time. So I like to put all that extra stuff about us or team, all that in like the footer, in my opinion. Granted, it's your website, do whatever you want, but if it doesn't, like I have a $2 million business and we have a 1-page website. I'm just saying, like you can do a lot with just that.
Sam, love it. Thank you, Sam, for coming on and sharing. For people that want to potentially work with ServiceScalers or connect with you personally on social, where can folks find you?
ServiceScalers, go to servicescalers.com. You can see my 1-page website. It's a couple more pages than that. We're building it out, but it's you can hit us up there or hey Sam Preston on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. You can find me there. I'm happy to engage. DM's open. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Sam, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Brian.